Hi! So today I wanted to do something a little different, I guess. Mostly because I haven't written a story to read. Sorry. So today I thought I would celebrate my recent completion of my final edit of my most recent novel. I say final because for now it's final, but I'm sure I will be going back to it. But I wanted to celebrate that by telling you about my process, about the life cycle of a Nora novel, I guess you could say, kind of how I go about it from start to finish, or at least what my current finish is. So, all of my novels, pretty much, all of them, start in this guy. So this is my ideas notebook. I think I got this on sale at Barnes & Noble like 5 years ago. And I really like it. I think it's pretty, which is always good. And when I bought it, I don't think I had a real purpose in mind because I just bought it because it was a pretty notebook. Yeah, I have problems. So basically, I would use this notebook and I would just write down whatever ideas I would have. So it might be a full plot idea, or some of it were just character sketches. So like here is a character sketch about a character called Ted Overman. He has not yet appeared in anything I've written, but if I ever do need him, he's there. He's a kind of middle-aged space guy. And so this helps me when I'm working on a project. It's so tempting sometimes to have, where it's difficult to focus on just one project because you have all these other ideas and you're like, ooh, I should start writing something new. But of course, you shouldn't. At least not unless you're one of those people that can actually do that. But I think for most of us, focusing on one project until it's done is really what we have to do. And usually the other ones are just distractions because we don't know what we're doing with our current one. So instead of writing those ideas I get, I just jot them down in here, and then when I finish my novel, I can go back and be like, oh, what do I want to write next? So it starts out usually with just a random idea in here, and then I kind of like to build on that before I actually start going. So, for example, my last novel, novel 6, started out in here, and then I came up with my one sentence premise. Then I moved on to a paragraph, and then I came up with a whole outline, and it's broken into, because there's 2 parallel timelines running in novel 6, and so those were kind of being plotted at the same time. And then I went on to kind of sketch a little bit about some of the characters that appeared in this. Oh, and I also did the same thing for novel 7. Well, I didn't do an outline in here, but you can see where Pantheon, it's not its name now, but and then I wrote some info about that. Kind of collect my thoughts, decide if an idea has enough legs to become a real novel, and where I want to go with it. So then from there, I will go and write an outline. Now, I am a major outliner. I know there's like the whole pants versus planning debate, and it's kind of a spectrum, I think, and I am like so far on the outline spectrum. I legitimately make outlines with like all the headings that we learned in like middle school, like part 1, capital A, and I go through that, and then from that outline, then I use Excel to come up with this scene list. I'm going to use my tablet to show this to you because I am shooting this on my computer, so so I just use Excel, there we go, and come up with this whole scene list before even writing anything. In this case, for novel 7, I wasn't sure if I wanted to do a single POV or multi-POV, so I actually came up with 2 different plans. I ended up deciding on single POV. And then I came and I broke it all out into chapters. And then, again, this is all prior to writing anything. Now, as I go through and write, I highlight them when I finish. So that's why they're all highlighted in green now, because I finished one. Now, this is just for the first draft, so I have a new tab for each draft that I do where these change slightly. But yeah, so I plan out each scene in order, timelines, people, places before I get there. And it changes some as I write. I'm not completely going to ignore an idea if I get it while I'm writing, but for the most part I do all of my planning, all my plotting beforehand, and then the writing is just kind of like, I have to write this scene now, and I sit down and do it, and I write all my scenes in order. So that was my tablet that I was showing you, and actually it's probably a good thing to show you in general. This is what I do a lot of my writing on, actually, because it's very portable, more portable than my laptop, and it has a keyboard. So I actually take this, and whenever I go write in other places, so at coffee shops or at the library, those are the two most common places I go, and I will take this and write, and write, and write, and write. So then, once I finish a draft, I like to print it out so I can go through and mark it up. So this is the first draft of novel 7. As you can see, it's a little bit marked up. It's also a little bit, it got wet, it rained, I was taking this everywhere, so it's a little messy. And all these different post-its, so the different color note post-its are for different things. I can't remember exactly what I did. I think maybe pink was just general comments, green was consistency notes, purple was, I believe, character notes. Oh no, sorry, purple was plot notes, blue was setting notes, and I think yellow was character notes. For example, you can see, here's a note I left myself on the first page. Just to remind myself that maybe making your main character a total douche is not a good idea. So, and then I also like to, when I'm doing this, I like to make sure that I make notes like this as well. Because it's so easy when you're editing to just find all the stuff that you don't like, but I think it's important to take a second and recognize the stuff you do like, because 1, then you won't cut it when you're revising, and 2, it's just a reminder that, hey, this wasn't entirely 100% a pile of shit. I have this little file folder that I got at like Target or something that's expandable that I use to carry this around, although at this point I'm not sure it would fit, but it does fit usually. So I would carry this and then take it with my tablet and go work on my writing. So then once I have all of those notes, I create a list of revision notes for myself. So I just compiled all of my notes into this spreadsheet, and then I used those notes to come up with a revision plan, things that I wanted to do, so that I could X them off when they were done, and I had this nice little tracker going, and it kind of gave me something to work off. So then I went back to my scenes list, and I made another scene list. This one I decided to highlight in purple as I was going, and then I work through that and make all the edits I want to do, and then I repeat until I am happy. So for this, for novel 7, I've done 3 drafts, and I'm pretty happy finally with where it's at. During the revision process, I like to get feedback from some beta readers. So I have a friend that likes to read my stuff, and I also will try and find people at a writing forum I belong to called Absolute Right. And there's usually, I can find 1 or 2 people who are willing to read through it for me and kind of give me some feedback. I think for novel 7, I did that after draft 2 and prior to writing draft 3. And it just gives me an idea of things that aren't working for a reader instead of just my own perspective. Also, every draft involves copious amounts of hot beverages. Today, this is my England mug that I got in England with some lemon ginger tea. Keeps me going. I don't usually drink caffeine, so I drink a lot of coffee, but decaf. So then, once you have your novel, you need to send it out. because no one's going to read it if it's just sitting on your hard drive. So I'll write my query letter and my synopsis, which is a lot of fun, and let's not go into that. And then I start sending them out, and then they go into here. So right now this is 10 years worth of rejections. And whenever I get a rejection from the mail, I put it in here, and I also actually print out all of my emails to put in here, which I guess is a little weird, but that's what I do. And the bigger this gets, the more I know I'm trying. So for now, that's my current life cycle process. Hopefully there will be a future stage where I do edits based on what my agent wants and what my editor wants, but I'm not there yet. So, yeah, I hope you enjoyed getting a little glimpse at the way I work and the different tools that I like to use, and I hope you are having a good week. And yes, you may have noticed I probably sound a little different. I did get braces, so I'm sorry. Hopefully I don't sound like a total idiot, but yeah. Okay, well, if you want to see more videos, you can subscribe to my channel. I also have a website and blog, and a Twitter, and an Instagram, and a Wattpad, and everything, and I'd love to connect with you, so I'll leave all the links for that down below. And yeah, have a good one. Bye!